All right. Hi, I'm Jack, and I'm with Reese, and we're going to be doing an Adobe Premiere workshop. If you're part of the Mizzou J School and at Mizzou, you're going to get Adobe, the whole Adobe suite for a very reduced price. So it's a very worthy investment, and that's what we use for most of our video editing at MUTV. So we're going to take you through just how to edit a clip, how to put some highlights together, how to put some graphics in, just how to edit it and make sure your clips look good and professional, and that they're ready to go on our page or on air. So, Reese, I think we're gonna get started.
Yeah, awesome. So whenever you start out and you pull Premiere to get footage in, you can either go through and file import and then locate the footage and drop it in, or you can just take your footage and drag it straight into Premiere and it'll pop in there. And then in your main toolbar here, you'll have your video line, which is the top one, and then your audio line will be here. And it's two separate files. So if you wanted to, you could move your audio around or your video and so on and so forth. So here we just have some Miami Dolphin highlights. And usually what you'll do if you're doing a package or something, you'll want to have your voice over top of it. You'll be talking about the game while you just have highlights playing in the background. So most of the time, you'll straight up remove all of the audio that you have from the actual video that you took. So to do that, you just select that and then hit delete on the audio. And then you would just take your audio, which you would record, and put it over top of that. So next, I guess we're going to talk about cropping, which is pretty simple, and cutting video. So like here we have 5 minutes of highlights. You're only going to want a minute and a half if you're doing something. So again, this is pretty simple if you've ever used iMovie or anything like that. Usually you can just drag here and cut to whatever point you want. Another tool you can use is the razor tool. So if you get to a spot you want, then what you can do, you can click on your razor, and then you'll click there, and that'll just split the video file into two sections. So you have this and then this. So say you wanted to cut out like only 8 seconds here, you could razor there and then razor here, and then now you have 3 video files, I guess you could say, and then you can delete out that middle one and then put those back together, and then it'll play like that. Is that good, Jack? Do you got anything else
Yeah,
you want to say
that sounds good to me. And then you were mentioning the audio too. You can also move the levels of the audio to where they're lower. So if you actually want sound in the back of your video there, yeah, Reese is gonna drag it in, and then if you click on it and you hold it down or with your mouse, you can go to audio gain, and whatever you want to put it in, you're going to put it in. See how this peaks at 0 decibels. You're usually going to want it to sit around that -12 to -6 range. That's going to be your top where you want your volume to sort of be hitting at. That's going to be a good volume there. So he's going to throw it in as -12. That might be a little quiet. I sometimes go -6, but either way, it works as long as it's in that range. It's pretty good there. And then you can just adjust it by right-clicking or holding down your mouse there if you have a touchpad, and changing your audio there.
Yep. And then if you want to, bring it up, obviously you would just hit plus, and however many decibels you want to go up. If you're talking over it, like if you want to still have like some audio from the game while you're commentating over it, you want to probably bring it down quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you could drop it another 12 decibels, probably even. You could probably even do more than that. It's still probably pretty loud if you're trying to talk over it. But yeah, that's a very easy thing to do that adds quite a bit of quality to what you're doing. So I guess we can go into lower thirds graphics now. So another way just to really add some production value to whatever you're doing, if you go up here to graphics, because usually you'll be like in the effects panel, but if you go up to graphics, you'll have all these graphics here on the right side of your panel. So if you drag a lower third over and put it there, I've never had this happen before.
Yeah, it's going to take a few seconds to load usually.
but I'll take a few seconds to load. So basically, what this is doing is just putting like an image over the top of your video, which you can do with literally anything. You could take any picture you ever wanted and put it over there, and then it'll have text ability. It'll have the ability to edit like the text over the top of it. So it's just like whenever you're watching the news or whatever, and you have something come up in the lower third, and it'll say Reese Wegman, triple play host, and you can do that for whoever's talking. So it's just a good way to add some production value there while you're packaged. So it'll say your name, MUTV staffer, MUTV reporter, and that just makes it look that more professional. And looks like we finally got it here. Maybe.
Where is it at?
I think is it just not rendered? It might just
No,
like,
I guess not. It's not popping up for some reason.
okay, so usually this is very simple and very intuitive. For whatever reason, my computer's probably just not liking running Zoom and trying to render graphics right now. But basically, this will just pop up as an image right here. You can double click in there, edit all the text, and then you can edit it and crop it just like you would any other video file.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. If you have any questions about that, me or Jack could help you out. YouTube's your friend.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah.
And then we were showing you this a little bit earlier. Just if you want to crop clips, you just go on the right side with your arrow or the left side of it. If you want to make it shorter or specify one area, yep, exactly what Reese is doing right there. You can just make it shorter or longer. And then, yeah, I think that's all we got. Do we have anything else, Reese?
I don't really think so. Yeah, really the best way to do this is just to play around with it the most you can. So if you have Premiere or whenever you can get your hands on it, I would say just go in it and, you can do what we're doing and just download some sports highlights off of YouTube and, just kind of really play around with it. Try to make your own highlights, download some video from a game or something and try to edit stuff together, put music underneath it. You're really, with Adobe stuff, they're really powerful tools. And so, if you have experience using like iMovie or something, like it's going to transfer over, but it's not as simple as iMovie. But basically, yeah, just the more time you put into it, the easier it gets. And just moving around, there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube and stuff. You'll be able to figure everything out if you just take the time to do it. It's pretty simple, but yeah.
Yeah, and play around with everything on there. If you look at the top toolbar here, you got learning, assembly, editing, color effects. There's a lot of cool effects you can put on. We don't use those for highlights because you want to keep the highlights pretty basic, not basic, but sort of accurate. And you don't want to be putting too much effects on that. But if you're making a hype video or something, you're going to want to put effects on there. So play around with those too. There's a lot of different cool things you can do with Adobe. So as Reese said, just get your practice with it.
Yep. I think that's about it. That's all I got.
All right, that's all I got. All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.